right, let's go. Welcome in another edition of Philly Debatable. Hello, everybody. Today's date is June the 8th. It is a Thursday. Over to my, again, over there, Jon Jansen. I am Sean Brace.
Left to right.
If you listen to the Daily Ticket, if you listen to the Gambler, then you know us both. And if you've been listening this week, it's been a fun week. Of course, NBA Finals, a lot going on with the Phillies. Of course, the Sixers conversation rolls on, and we are inching closer towards football season. We will have a football topic on today's show. But let's not waste any more time. We got a lot of great categories to get into here, a lot of great questions to debate. So, Jansen, you ready to go?
Absolutely. I'm always ready.
All right, here we go. Question number one. Let's fire it up. We got Mike Powers, of course, producing behind the scenes here. And Jon Jansen, yesterday, a rumor, and then it kind of was backed up. And then Wojnarowski and Shams both said that's not true. So who knows what is actually happening right now behind the scenes? But I think further down the road, the big picture, Chris Paul will be waived by the Phoenix Suns. Will he be eventually a free agent for everyone to claim? I don't know. We shall see. But the question is for here, does Chris Paul, if the 76ers were to reach out and get him, of course, bring his family to Philadelphia, sign on, join the team, run the show at 38 years of age, does that move push the 76ers over and get them to an NBA Finals? You go first.
No, it pushes them backwards, to be honest with you. I know James Harden is looked at with age and Chris Paul, this veteran leadership, but Chris Paul, doesn't he have playoff woes as well, including James Harden in that? They all have the same issues. It's just that James Harden at this point in his career is better than Chris Paul. He led the league in assists. James Harden fit with Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid in a way I don't think Chris Paul will. In fact, it looks like Phoenix is probably maybe going to be looking at James Harden. They could be this wild card player in the James Harden sweepstakes, I guess, if you want to call it that. And I think Phoenix would get better and it would make them a contender. Look, I think Chris Paul would be an option if the Sixers are looking for a point guard and James Harden isn't there. But is that the one that puts them over the top? No. He might just be a necessary piece, though.
Yeah, I think it's important to answer the question. Put them over the top single-handedly? No, I don't. I don't believe that player exists except for Damian Lillard. I think Lillard could be that guy if you were to trade, depending on what you had to give up. And again, the Sixers don't have much, but he could be that difference maker to team up with Joel Embiid, even if James Harden comes back. But Chris Paul, do I want him on my team? Absolutely, 100%. He's the type of player that would get in Joel Embiid's you-know-what if he shined away from the moment in the final 4 minutes of a Game 6 do-or-die at home. That's what you need. You need somebody out there that's starving for an NBA championship, like Chris Paul, to head, of course, the leadership, being in the room. Chris Paul brings so much to the table off the court. And again, at 38 years, 18th, 19th year in the league, I'm sure his expectations of what's being asked of him, it's probably going to be limited. So I think he would come in and excel at that role. Now, again, Chris Paul coming to Philadelphia, highly unlikely. I think he winds up back with the Phoenix Suns at a much cheaper price. But again, I would love to have Chris Paul. And to your point, Jansen, yeah, if you lose James Harden, you got to replace production. So you got to start somewhere.
Yeah, and that's the only reason I would get Chris Paul. But why would Chris Paul get in Joel Embiid's ear when they both have the same problem? They both have this mental block when it comes to the playoffs. Chris Paul made an NBA final. Chris Paul hasn't won anything. He hasn't won any. He got to a Western Conference Finals and lost. He hasn't done anything. James Harden's been to a Western Conference Final, and we look at him having playoff issues. He has playoff issues. He's 18, 19 years in his career, and he's done nothing. He's an all-time point guard. He's a great point guard. Nothing. But playoff success has escaped him throughout his entire career. And he's going to get in Embiid's ear to do that? Yes. I don't think that's going to happen. It doesn't. I think it's a backwards move. I think he has the same problems James Harden does. But I think Chris Paul's body is failing him more than James Harden's.
All right. We'll end it there. All I know is last word is that they lost to the Golden State Warriors in 7 games. Come on. Next question. Over to the Phillies. Yeah. Won a couple games in a row here. Things are looking good for the fight ends, or is it just a matter of who they're taking on? Again, you want to stack wins, win series at this point in time of the year. But the question right now, Jansen, you go first again. Are the Phillies back?
I hate to say they ever left. This just feels like the timing of what the Phillies do. It turns to June, the pressure gets on a little bit, and now guys like Kyle Schwarber and JT Realmuto are hitting well. But that's the thing about the Phillies. They only needed a few pieces to start playing up to their standard because the bullpen has been great. They now found this diamond in the rough in Jeff Hoffman into their bullpen. They're going to add a guy who has a 0.63 ERA into the bullpen after Jose Alvarado was hurt. And now Sir Anthony Dominguez looks like the closer that he was when he first came up. The bullpen has been great. The starting pitching has finally gotten good outings from Walker and Ranger Suarez. Now it's time for Wheeler and Nola to step it up. But I think just a few pieces doing well, I think speaks to everything the Phillies are. They're a talented baseball team. Everything is going somewhat well. It's just they needed to get a little bit of hitting, and they're getting that. And now look how good they're doing.
Well, I would even look at it from the other side. Yeah, I agree with you. Are the Phillies back? And we're having fun with that because MLB Network last week were just saying, are they done? And again, I just don't understand.
Most teams are done in the beginning of June.
Yeah, as bleak as things might be for the Phillies, and there were a lot of expectations, folks, they're 29 and 32. And I mean, even at the worst last week, they were 5 games below 500. It's not where we want them to be. It's not where we thought they would be. But then again, you start adding things up and it starts to make sense with all the injuries, lack of consistent starting pitching, so on and so forth. But I agree with you, Jansen. They never left. They're still in the running. This is a team that can absolutely win the NL East. I thought the Braves were for sure going to run away with this thing. And I know that they have a nice lead over the Phillies, but I don't know. Are they a surefire lock to win the East? Not at this point in time of the season. A lot of baseball to be played. The thing I like about the fight, and it comes back, I get it, offense. You need to hit the long ball to win a World Series or to get to a World Series. But, man, to cruise through a regular season, consistency at the starting pitching, that is the key. And that's what we're starting to see, I hope, a little bit more down the road here. But, of course, with the way Aaron Nola looked the last time out, when he got the ball to start. Ranger Suarez coming back. Now, I know Zach Wheeler, in my opinion, I think Zach Wheeler's still dealing with some issues from last year, extended innings, so on and so forth, pitching later in the season. And I expect him to find his way. He was a little bit more dominant earlier this season. He had multiple games with double-digit strikeouts. That's what I want to see from Wheeler. Last time out, not exactly the best start. Tonight, back at it. Hopefully they get this game in this evening against the Tigers. But I just want to put things into proper perspective. They haven't played anybody all that good in the Nationals and the Detroit Tigers. They got some good series coming up, a lot of baseball to be played, but they're right in the thick of it. They haven't left, and yes, they are back. If you did think that they exited stage right, they're back.
Yeah, and starting pitching has always been a problem this season, and I get it. But getting at least 5 innings out of Walker and Suarez in great innings, and of course Suarez went 7, you don't need these guys to eat up innings because you have such a strong bullpen. The best friend for a starting rotation is a really good bullpen behind it. I don't think there's any pressure on these guys anymore because they're deep. You can even go to Andrew Bellotti, Jeff Hoffman. This is a very deep, and Craig Kimbrell's hitting 97 again, which I never thought he would do. So, yes, starting rotation is a problem, but a starting rotation's best friend is a bullpen, and the Phillies have one of the best in the bigs.
All right, next question. Let's get on over to the world of football. And we're talking MLS. How about this? No, not the Philadelphia Union. We're talking Lionel Messi to Miami. Unbelievable. Now, we kind of thought that this was going to happen. The writing was on the wall for a few seasons. Eventually, if he was going to pull the trigger and come over to the States, it was definitely going to be destination Miami. Now, the question for us here today is, Messi to Miami, Jon Jansen, does that put the MLS in front of Major League Baseball? I guess if we're going to do the rankings right now, we would do NFL 1, NBA 2, MLB 3, MLS 4, and then NHL 5. Wow, who wrote this question? Are you telling me MLS is in front of the NHL? Unbelievable. Is it in front of MLB for you, though?
Yeah, I would have to say, at least at the moment, for right now, because this is one of the most historic moves. This is the biggest sport, global sport in the world, and you have one of its most recognizable superstars heading into your league. Yes, you get a bump in that, but how long does that last? Because all of the Instagram followers we're seeing, they're over MLB teams, NHL teams, they're over all these teams, but it's just for Inter Miami. Inter Miami's Instagram followers, and I think for even just how MLS is looked at. It's over even the league MLS. This is right now just a messy move. But who is the pressure on to make the MLS capitalize off of this? I'm sure it is MLS, and of course they've had problems advertising themselves. I think the entire broadcast or debut of the Apple TV debacle certainly lends to MLS having issues with this. But I think a lot of pressure is on Messi. Are you going to be an ambassador for MLS? Are you going to be an ambassador for the game in the United States? Or are you just going to make your money, ride off into the sunset in Miami, have a nice family vacation? I think a lot of the pressure is on Messi. Is he going to be an ambassador for MLS, or is he just doing this so he can have a retirement while also making loads of money?
Yeah, I think it's the latter, number one. But number two is he's 35 years old. He's still got plenty of gas left in the tank. He's coming off a World Cup victory. I mean, it's just amazing to see what this guy has won. He's won the outright number one soccer player in the world, I think 6, 7, 8 times, something like that. And now he's coming to the MLS. Yeah, I think it's important to put things in proper perspective. Like I said earlier with the earlier question here with the MLS, what they were 10 years ago to where they're at right now, it's unbelievable. When the Philadelphia Union bought into the MLS, I don't think their franchise was all that expensive. Now we're seeing crazy numbers for some of these new teams out there. And of course, it's aided by the fact that they're able to get players such as Messi. Now, look, Messi is the top dog. This is unbelievable. Whether he's an ambassador or not, gets out there, speaks English, does all the pictures, does all the kissing babies. It does not matter. This dude is going to let the talking be done with his feet. All right, that's it. He's going to go out there and dominate the MLS. Messi will go out there and average a hat trick against everybody in this league. I loved it when people talked about Zlatan coming to the MLS. The numbers were like 10, 15 goals. That dude came in, kicked the doors. That's Zlatan. As much as I love Zlatan, he is nothing compared to Messi. So I can't wait to see some of the goals that he scores. It's going to be ESPN SportsCenter top 10. It's a huge deal for the MLS. But to answer the question, is it in front of Major League Baseball? I can't go there just yet. We're talking 162. I know Messi is the god, but at the end of the day, MLB, it's America's pastime. Come on, apple pie, MLB, not Messi. Come on, MLB's in front of MLS. But maybe Ronaldo comes over. You got Messi, Ronaldo. Keep at it. Keep getting better.
And look, MLB does have an international sensation in Shohei Ohtani, so they do have sort of this global footmark, but nothing is as big as Messi. And I think Messi trumps even Major League Baseball. Major League Baseball's biggest star for a decade was Mike Trout. Nobody really knew who he was. Everybody knew who Messi was coming into Inter Miami now. And I think that the followers on Instagram, the ticket prices, even though he's not even playing in Miami already, speaks for itself. This is a global, huge story. And I think it does put MLS over Major League Baseball. It's just that how long can that stay?
All right. I like it. Next question. Here we are, Philly Debatable here on a Thursday. All right. Over to the NFL. I told you we had one question for you as we are inching closer towards training camp, preseason, and the NFL regular season. I think we're 95 days away.
OTA, Sean Brace.
From that opening kickoff.
Tis the season.
I got no interest in OTAs. You know what I do have interest in is Madden. Yes, the cover was released yesterday, and they announced it. And, yeah, Josh Allen for the Buffalo Bills is on the cover for this year's NFL Madden. Now, the question I have is, did they get it right by choosing Josh Allen to be the cover boy? Jon Jansen, go.
Yeah, I think they got it right. Buffalo obviously loves Josh Allen, and I think that story, that marriage between the two certainly helps out in this. Josh Allen, big personality as well, obviously big-time quarterback. I think they got it right, and hey, maybe the Madden curse does hit Josh Allen, and instead of Jalen Hurts, who was potentially a candidate for the Madden cover as well. So yeah, I think it was the right call. He certainly has a lot of fanfare, and heck, highlight reels that Madden can throw out there for days leading up to the Madden release. Yeah, I think they got it right.
Josh Allen has a personality?
I think so. Compared to most quarterbacks.
What has he ever said? No, they got it wrong. They got it stone cold wrong. First of all, what has Josh Allen ever done on the field? He hasn't won anything. You got a guy who just got to a Super Bowl who might be the best looking man we've ever seen in an NFL uniform. And I'm comfortable to say that. He's my quarterback. Are you kidding me? Jon Jansen, Jalen Hurts, Stone cold lock city. Should have been on the cover of this year's Madden. Of course, Patrick Mahomes, we're going to put him up there, whatever. Put Mahomes to the side. There's a new sheriff in town. Jalen Hurts. God bless him. Did you see him on the cover of Essence? Jon Jansen, I don't even know where to get Essence the magazine at, but I'll tell you what, if I did see one, I'd scoop it up. They get my hard-earned money. And I'm telling you right now, Madden, you want to help out with the ladies' numbers? Oh, you know how many girls be playing Madden just because Jalen Hurts on the cover? Josh Allen doesn't do anything. Buffalo. Yeah, Buffalo's going to sell a ton of copies. They love the Buffalo Bills. Outside of Buffalo, nobody cares about the Bills. You know why? Because it's like a mafia. They don't want you unless you're born there. That's it. Philadelphia, we embrace everybody. It's literally a brotherly love. Everybody's got the Eagles in the Super Bowl. Jalen Hurts should have been on the cover. Hands down.
Yeah, do you know that they are in their uniforms usually in this cover? This isn't a GQ magazine shoot. I love Jalen Hurts on GQ. Man's got a fashion sense. Man knows how to present himself. This isn't that. It's Madden. It's trash. It's garbage. Let them put out a guy that I think embraces a big community like Buffalo and I think a Madden community as well. I think Josh Allen will do the Madden tour better than I think most players. I don't think Jalen Hurts would be great on the Madden Tour parade as they try and release the game. Jalen Hurts is all about business. Josh Allen's about a little bit of fun, and I think Madden could use that.
Josh Allen as a person, what? Of that
You're telling me Jalen Hurts does? Jalen Hurts has Nick Saban quotes, and again, great fashion. I don't know if that leads to personality, but again, leave him on Essence and GQ. I think Madden could use a little bit of fun in Josh.
Are you kidding me? Every quote that comes out of Jalen Hurts' mouth ends up on a T-shirt.
It's all about business. Yeah, but it's business-like with Jalen Hurts. Everything's all tidy. Everything is again, the fashions, everything is just all nice and clean about Jalen Hurts. I think Madden could use somebody like Josh Allen. Again, a little bit loose, a little bit fun.
Well, EA Sports, Madden is a business, and they dropped the ball on that. Jalen Hurts covered 2024.
The game's still going to stink.
All right. And that will do it. Philly Debatable here on a Thursday, June 8th. Stay inside, kiddies. It's smoky outside, thanks to our neighbors up north. Final thoughts before we get out of here. Philly Debatable, Jon Jansen, go.
Final thoughts. Philadelphia Union, they are right now back, and I think this is a season to capitalize on it. Now with Messi coming into the MLS, Union could be at the top of this league, and I really think the Union should capitalize on the season with players moving on, but I think it puts a little bit more emphasis on it with Messi coming in, because now the story is going to be all him next season. For now, the Union can make it about themselves this season.
All right. Love the Union. Dupe. Let's go. All right, over to me. My final thoughts, 30 seconds on the clock. It's over. It's over, Johnny. NBA Finals, sorry. Last night was unbelievable. Murray and Joker. I mean, we're talking about one of the most electrifying dynamic duos we've ever seen in NBA Finals. That was explosive last night, and it's not going to stop. Miami tried. They hung with them in the first quarter. Matter of fact, they covered that number. Did not cover the first half play. Denver was the play. And, of course, they went on to blow them out. So I just don't see it happening in game 4. I think Denver rolls. I think what we see is what we're going to get in game 4 there. Close in the first half. Just can't hang with Denver. So give me the Nuggets, your NBA champion. I wonder if that move over Chris Paul lights a fire underneath Joel Embiid's butt. We'll see. All right, that will do it for us today. Philly Debatable, kiddies. Get involved in the conversation at Fox PHL Gambler. And be sure to subscribe over on our YouTube channel, Fox Sports The Gambler. That's it. That's all you got to do is search Fox Sports The Gambler and tune in Monday through Friday on The Gambler. Always available on the iHeartRadio app. Hit us up.